Hey guys, welcome to the journey back with Tiffany Hunt. Tonight we're going to be discussing rejection and your gifts. I am of the mindset, and actually this came to me maybe a week and a half or so ago, maybe a little bit longer. Since our last video, well, that's shorter than a week. Anyway, I was just pondering, and it came to me that a lot of people, especially in the religious sect, because that's a lot of my core people that I've been around for a long time. I've been in that arena. I was in that arena for over a decade. And I noticed that a lot of us suffer from being rejected. Like, we struggle from having rejection with our parents, and then you get into ministry, and then there's a level of rejection with either your parishioners or congregation and people that you're around, lay people, or even sometimes you notice that there may be favorites with the pastor and you're not one of them, so you suffer from rejection in that area, or you deal with rejection in your intimate relationships with husbands, wives, sometimes even with children. And there are lots of layers to the whole rejection piece. But what I'm going to say is a bit controversial, but it's necessary. I would say that rejecting your ancestral knowledge is the deepest form of rejection you can afflict upon yourself. Rejecting learning about your ancestors is, to me, one of the strongest ways of you rejecting yourself. You're rejecting knowledge of self. You're rejecting the history of your family. You're rejecting learning about, okay, which people in my family had this particular gift or had this particular skill. Like, there's a lot of people in my family that are naturally creative. Like, I have aunts that sew very well. I have aunts that do hair. I have a grandmother that does hair. I have entrepreneurs in my family line. And I haven't been told a lot of stories because some people in my family feel like, well, let the past be the past. I don't want to talk about it. It was painful, so I'm not going to go into it. I'm not going to open Pandora's box and tell you things. And it's unfortunate because when we don't know things and when we don't know about history and what occurred previously with other relatives, when remnants of their issues come up in our lives, we haven't been equipped to deal with those things. Like, there's some people that had mental illness in their family and didn't know that that their great grandmother had mental issues and suffered from depression. So then when it pops up in their lives, they haven't been given any tools to do better. Like, it's said that each generation is supposed to get better, and we're supposed to move on, and we're supposed to make progress. But it was said years ago that if you don't know history in general, you're destined or doomed to repeat it. And it's true. What you don't know can really hurt you. Pretending that you don't need to know it because it's not readily accessible will not stop your life from running into potholes. And there's a scripture that actually comes up for me. I'm sorry, what is the scripture? It goes, those that know the way will be chastened with a few stripes. No, those that know the way will be chastened with many stripes, but those that don't know the way will be chastened with a few. So that means that whether you know or whether you don't know, and they're talking about Christianity, but actually this could be applicable in other ways. Just because you don't know something doesn't mean that you won't be accountable. Like, it's some people maybe that don't know that not many, but it's some people maybe that don't know that a license is a requirement for driving a vehicle. Now, they could have the skill to drive the vehicle, but if they get out there and drive and a police officer pulls them over and they don't have a license, they don't have any proper identification, it can cost them dearly. Driving is a privilege. And shoot, I learned that in my own life, that driving is a privilege. I've made some horrible choices when it comes to driving, especially in my 20s. I mean, I literally used to have to walk by my car because I didn't have insurance. I let my tags expire. And in Florida, if you don't have your business together, you could lose your freedom because you didn't have your business in order. And I had to spend a night in jail as a young woman. I mismanaged my money and I didn't do what I was supposed to do. And so I did what I wanted to do with my money instead of taking care of what was the priority. And a lot of times, and even in that situation, I had asked for resources for a specific item. I had asked for resources for money to pay all my tickets off and to get my, to pay my tickets off and to get my license in order. And instead of spending the money for what I had asked for money for, I ended up spending the money on starting a new business venture, which actually didn't work out, and it actually got me in further debt, but it seemed like a good idea at the time. I had issues with being impulsive, like, oh, this sounds like a great idea. This could help make me some more money. But I didn't use the money for what I had asked for it for. And so it cost me dearly. I had to walk by my car for several months and ride the bus. And it's one thing to ride the bus when you live in Maryland or DC or New York or somewhere up north where there's a bus every 10 to 15 minutes. Riding a bus in Jacksonville, Florida is not hot. Because I had to be driven to the depot, and it was a whole process. It took me an hour and a half to get somewhere where it would normally take me 30 minutes. So it was not a good thing, but I learned my lesson that driving is a privilege. And I know I just went off on a tangent, guys, but I just wanted to show how just because you don't know something, or even if you do know and you choose to do something else, you're going to suffer consequences from your choices. There is a consequence to every choice. And I just believe and I know that rejecting your ancestors and rejecting ancestral connection is really you rejecting a deeper connection with yourself. There's a TV show that they have now, and I think it's on like TLC, and it's called Who Do You Think You Are, where a bunch of, famous people, of course, can go from one city, one state, one country, wherever they want to go in order to figure out their family history. Now, they only get to pick like one side or whatever, but it still helps them to delve deeper into it. And the times that I've watched it, I've noticed that, light bulbs go on to say, oh, this particular ancestor had this characteristic, of tenacity, or they were really creative in this particular area. Now I understand where I may have gotten that from. And it's just an excitement of being able to identify yourself in someone else. And in essence, we came back. When you came here, you came back as an ancestor. And so your ancestors are an integral part of your DNA. They are an integral part. They are interwoven in your very makeup. And so you rejecting them is you rejecting yourself. And you're struggling and you're sad and you're upset and you have a gamut of emotions about the way other people treat you. And of course, we are inundated with information through media, through Facebook, through social media, all kinds of things, through the TV, and all those are media outlets. But we are inundated with information all the time, even with sometimes the people around us that tell us, oh, your kinky hair is not beautiful. Oh, your wide nose is unattractive. Oh, your big behind and your shapely hips is unattractive. But when Kim Kardashian had those things, oh, it's popular now. Oh, when Kylie Jenner decided to do lip injections, oh, it's acceptable now. But we've been told for centuries that what is natural to us is ugly, it's unbeautiful, it is rejection worthy. And so we are given information, and even with people that love us and claim to love us, and love us maybe in the only way that they know how to love us, they tell us, oh, your hair is too nappy. Oh, it's too kinky. Oh, you need to straighten it out. Oh, no one's going to accept you. Oh, no one's going to give you an opportunity. Oh, nobody's going to give you a job. Oh, no one likes all that hair that's, it's mismanaged, or it's not combed, or it's too kinky, it's too wild, it's too untamed, it's not put together. You're going to intimidate people. You're going to make people be uncomfortable. And so they're telling you, they're rejecting you on the surface, but it resonates deeply. It resonates deeply because some of us have rejected knowledge of ourselves. We have rejected knowledge of our ancestors because it's outside our realm of awareness. We don't have anybody that we have been able to readily go to and access to give us the information we need in order for us to be able to learn about ancestors and how to connect with them and how to call them and how to ask them to walk with us and be with us. And then when information is presented and opportunities are given, we are paralyzed by the fear of what everybody else is going to say, what everybody else is going to think. Is it going to work? Is it not going to work? I mean, I'd much rather jump off the cliff to get to know myself than to stay paralyzed where I am, knowing in myself that it's not working because it's what's popular. We've been given so much information and told so many times what is wrong with us, what's not right with us. And we accept all those messages into ourselves. And so just like everybody else is hating us and hating on us, we hate on ourselves. In the deepest part, we hate on ourselves by rejecting our ancestors, by rejecting learning about our history and learning what happened and having that understanding. And yes, it can be depressing, it can be saddening, it can be maddening, but then you can get that information and then be equipped with new tools. You don't have to get that information and stay in a place of mad, but you need the information so you can be in a place of informed and not just ignorant, walking through life saying, well, nobody else did any better in my family, so I'm not going to worry about it. Or this is what all of my friends are doing, or this is what seems to be popular or most comfortable for me to stay in, so I'm not stepping outside of the box. I don't want people looking at me like I'm crazy. I don't want people seeing me like I don't make sense, and I resonate with, relatives that I've known, relatives that I didn't get an opportunity to meet on this side. And so, like, my grandmother, she was a great hairstylist, and both of my grandmothers were great nurturers. And I know I'm a nurturer. I'm a queen mother. I can do hair. I can do lots of creative things. And come to find out, a person that I never did get an opportunity to meet before he transitioned. But my grandmother, her father was a chandelier designer in New York. I never got an opportunity to meet him, but I can see how his thread is weaved through family members that he never even got an opportunity to look at. But his creativity, and it wasn't like, oh, he just designed a chandelier for, someone's personal use in their personal homes. He did it in different businesses and big name places. I don't know any of the names off the top of my head, but I remember, vaguely the story, that he had a thriving business, that he was great at what he did. And so I can see how his fabric is interwoven through my life, even though I never got an opportunity to meet him. And imagine, just your gifts, that came from different people in your family. Like my grandmother I don't think she has fully tapped in or fully understands some of her gifts, but she's been able to see, hear, and know things before they occur. Like, for instance, she knew that something was going on with her daughter, and her daughter wouldn't reveal it to her, but then there was a huge, humongous fallout, because of her daughter not following the instructions that my grandmother had given. Like, it was a huge bad situation in my family because of it, but that's their business and I won't go into detail about that. But she could clearly see that something was going on. She addressed it and she gave advice, but the advice wasn't taken or followed. And so because of it, it was a lot of turmoil behind not listening. And that's not every situation. Sometimes you don't know what you know. Just like, for me personally, I could tell you a personal story with my grandmother. I had my daughter at 28 weeks, which is 12 weeks early. She was born 29 years to the day on my same birthday. So we share a birthday. And my grandmother said, I knew that she was going to come early, but she never told me that she knew my daughter was going to come early, because I was telling her, I think the week that I had my daughter, that I was having some pain and I was having some challenges. And she was like, I knew immediately when you said that to me that she was going to come early, but she never said anything to me about it, because I think sometimes we don't really know what gifts we have, and we don't necessarily always know how to utilize our gifts or use them with making people feel comfortable. And then there are times when, you know, when you're an authority figure like a grandmother or a maternal, a mom or a dad, sometimes you're like, well, that's their business, I'm staying out of it, you know, I'm not going to get involved, or they don't be listening no way, you know, they don't believe what I'm going to say, so I'm going to keep my own thoughts to myself. And then crazily enough, my husband and I have both had, I would say, our own way of her letting us know that she was going to come early. Like I had dreams about both of my children, and I saw both of them actually before they came. Like I could see my daughter standing up. I couldn't see her face or make her out, but I could see her before she came. I knew my son would have curly hair before he came. And my husband, the week that I had her, said that he had a dream of her calling him. And sure enough, she was here, you know, that Friday. She came early. But all these things we didn't really realize or piece together until after she had come. We didn't recognize those things as a warning or an indicator, or the ancestors letting us know, okay, she's coming. You know, okay, get ready for it. Okay, be prepared for it, or be okay with it. Be at peace with it. She's going to be fine. You know, with that being my first child, that was devastating and quite scary. But she made it. She's perfect. She doesn't have any developmental delays. She's beautiful and she's gorgeous. And I'm so grateful that the ancestors and that she chose to come through me. And then there are times in my own life where I know that I see, hear, and know. And now, because I've gotten into ancestral knowledge and connecting with my ancestors, I'm birthing, honing, and cultivating my natural gifts and my natural skills. And I use them when I hear certain things. Whether I'm out around people that know me or people that don't know me, I will tell them what I'm hearing. I will share with them what comes up. I was out to dinner with my husband celebrating our 12th anniversary a couple weeks ago. And this couple, this girl, this young lady, she asked me if I would take a picture of her and her boyfriend. And as I was taking the picture, I could hear tell him that if he marries her, that his life will be good, that they will be able to work together and come together and create what it is that they want their lives to look like. Tell him not to be fearful about marrying her. And so I just started a conversation with them. And I asked them, I said, you know, well, how long have you guys been together? And I think they said like 4 or 5 years. And I told him what I heard. And he said, thank you so much. You know, and from being somebody that's been married for 12 years together with my husband, 13, I gave them some advice about relationships, about marriage, you know, and I gave them everything that I heard, which was, you know, just tell them that it will be good, that they need to create a foundation for what it is that they want, that they need to create a plan for what they want their relationship and their life to look like, and to just go forward and follow that plan, and they'll see success. You know, that there will be challenges, but that's life anyway. And they both were so grateful that I shared it with them. And so sometimes we've weirded our own selves out, or we've talked our own selves out of being the full expression of ourselves because we don't want to step on anybody else's toes. We've been rejected by people that are close near us, telling us that we're weird, or we don't make any sense, or that sounds odd, or, you know, I don't want to have any dealings with that. And so we think that the outside world is going to treat us and respond to us in the same way. And sometimes you'll get embraced more by people that don't know you because they don't know your past. They aren't so close to you where they see all your frailties. You know, like some of the people that are in close proximity to you, you know, sometimes the people in close proximity to you, they have seen, you know, you run the gamut of mistakes and saying the wrong thing and doing the wrong thing. And they've seen the good things too, but they're not always as open, you know, as others. And I've also had moments where I've been at a store and I've pulled someone aside and I've asked them about their life. Like I remember my husband and I, we were out of town with the kids and we were at this hotel, and I pulled the young lady over and I asked her, you know, what were her plans for her life, what she wanted to do with her life. And she said, well, I want to have my own child care center, you know, and I was able to give her specific instructions and tell her, you know, to price herself in a way that she would be able to make whatever it is that she needed to make. I told her to set herself apart. I told her to believe in herself. You know, I gave her some specific instructions that I heard as I was having a conversation with her. And she told me, she said, wow, it's amazing that you called me over here because I was just thinking that I needed to get out of here, that they were not paying me enough, you know. And so I gave her insight and hope, one, on her life, and I gave her instructions on what her next move was. I didn't know she was over there thinking about her business, but I was able to give her some insights on what her next move should be and encourage her that yes, she can push forward and move forward, but to be strategic about it. You know, a lot of us are on the precipice of becoming and being who it is we came here to be, but we shut ourselves down. We cut ourselves off. We cut off our own appendages. We cut off our feet, our legs, our hands, our arms, before we even get an opportunity to build strong muscles in what it is that we're naturally gifted at. You know, a lot of us are doing things that will bring in money, you know, and while money is good and it's helpful, it doesn't fill the empty void, because before we came here, we signed a contract. Before we came here, we signed a contract to do a specific job, a specific work, operate in specific gifts. And because we have been cut off from tradition, we don't know what those gifts are a lot of times, or if those gifts come up, we think they're weird or they don't make sense. And so they don't make sense to our natural minds. And we haven't been cultivated in our what is the word I want to use? We are not learned in our true African indigenous way of life. And so we reject it because it's been demonized. We've been told something is wrong with it. And we're just in a space where we're rejecting ourselves on a cellular level. And it is having devastating effects on the way we are, on the way we live, and on the way we be in the inside. And so I just wanted to share that with you guys tonight. And I also, of course, wanted to open an opportunity for those that would like to have an insight session with me. Please contact me via my email, and we can have conversation, and I will let you know and invoice you via PayPal. I'm open to taking new clients at this point, and I'm excited about being able to impact your life in a positive and an effective way. I have a person actually that I talk to every week because we're partners in a way, and I've been able to talk to her and talk her through different experiences that she's currently having and the experiences that she's had, and giving her specific insights on what to do, how to do, and how to see it differently. And sometimes we just need a new set of eyes to look at our same situation, to be able to give us an out, to be able to give us instruction on how to stay in it, and to be able to give us instructions on how to maneuver. And I'm skilled in all those things, and I'm a seer. You know, I naturally see, hear, and know lots of things. I don't see, hear, and know everything, but what I do know, I share. And I'm so grateful again for those of you that have subscribed to my channel. I ask that you all continue to subscribe, that you continue to share the videos, that you continue to share them with your tribe, share them with your family members, your coworkers, those that you may not even think need the information. They might need it. Just share it with everybody in your address book. Share it with all your friends on Facebook. Repost. I'm going to be working on putting together a Facebook group, a closed group, so that I can give some tidbits throughout the week when I'm not doing an actual video. And again, I thank you guys for your time. I am just going to go ahead and move videos to Thursday because Wednesday has been such a challenge for me. So I'm going to move videos to Thursday, and I will be seeing you each Thursday morning. I will be doing videos Wednesday night and uploading on Thursday. I thank you guys again for your patience with me, for your love, for your comments. Please comment. I want to have dialogue with you guys. I want to connect. So please reach out and set up an insight session today. Thank you guys so much again for your time, and have a wonderful one. Again, we're giving you fuel for thought. So go ahead and take these nuggets, take this information, and make it applicable in your lives. And if you need assistance or you need support in order to apply and how to apply and what to do, please reach out today. I will leave the links in the description box. Thank you again so much for your time, and share the video. Have a wonderful night. Bye.